All right, my friends, how are you today? Aaron Michael Eschenberg here, bringing you your horoscope for Sunday, fun day, the 5th of May. What is going on? We've got a really interesting aspect called a yod happening today, or the finger of God. All right, so it's a sextile, which is two planets that are 60 degrees apart, making a connection. Well, let me just show you what that looks like, all right? It's kind of confusing, and there's a lot happening, so it's the green and the purple lines here, all right? So the moon over here in Taurus, the moon's going to be in Taurus all day. We just had this new moon, right? So the moon is exalted in Taurus, which is really great. Later on, it's going to make its way into Gemini early in the morning. So see this dotted line? The moon is making a connection with the north node of the moon over here. Okay, that's the sextile. So the moon in stable Taurus making a sextile connecting with the north node. This is saying, okay, everyone's moving toward the north node. Okay, deeper into a place of empathy, deeper into our intuition, deeper into our emotions, authenticity, okay? A little bit more homebodied, caring more about, this is like, again, caring more about our neighbors, caring more, I'm a huge animal lover, and somebody said to me about PETA, people like protecting animals, and it was just an interesting aspect. They're like, dude, these it's a really wonderful thing, but some of them they care more about the animals than they do about the people. And I was like, oh my God, in a certain sense you're right there. Though it's an aspect to just think about, to look at. Like, we need to care more about people. We need to care about people that are hurt. We need to care about people that are wounded or have been wounded, or who simply don't know. There was a point in my life 10 years ago where I was really frustrated and angry as I felt lied to about certain aspects of life, like the big picture of things that I had, clicked on. I'll probably talk about that in the video a little bit later on here. It's a big one, big astrology video. And I felt super lied to, and I was just like, okay, nobody knew. They didn't know. They were only teaching me what they knew, and they did it to the best of their knowledge. So sometimes we have to be more empathetic to others, go a little deeper than the surface level of, okay, why is this guy cutting me off? Well, maybe his wife is about to give birth in the seat next to him and you can't see her and he's in a hurry. It doesn't mean you should drive terrible, but we never know what's going on in somebody else's life. So the North Node being in Cancer for the next year and change is really telling us to go deeper than the surface level of what we see in the world. Back to this yod though. So that's an important aspect, because the moon with this new beginning that just happened in stable sign of Taurus, this allows us to be open to this change and allow us to be open and less, stubborn, and allowing us to mold a little bit. This water and earth is going to help us round out our edges. It's like the Grand Canyon was formed by this water flowing and allowing this, to open up this rock. Now back to this yod, the finger of God. Okay, so our emotional moon is pointing toward letting us be more empathetic, like we just talked about. And then both of these, this sextile, this really beautiful harmonious connection, is pointing, although the astrology, although all of this is pointing to the north node and the grand scheme of astrology, this particular day, what this yod is pointing to is actually up here, which is Jupiter in Sagittarius. Okay, so this is, and let's look at this real quick. 23 degrees, Jupiter Sagittarius. Let's follow this red line now, right here to Mars at 23 degrees Gemini. Okay, so this is an opposition. Now, this really isn't a connection that I look at, or most do, Yes, it's there, but there's 1 degree apart. They're neighbors not having the conversation together. So the conversation is really over here. Everybody's pointing to this. So Mars and Gemini wants us to stay busy. It wants us to stay active. These two want us to go deeper. They want us to transform and, change this rock that's been into this beautiful, sculpture. And how do we do that? We do that with this knowledge up here, this philosophy, this higher education. You know, Jupiter, you know, Sagittarius, Jupiter is like the philosopher, King Jupiter, who says more about everything. I want more of it. So it's just like pick up a book, learn some more. Mars is driving us in the community aspect. You know, Gemini is still a community. It's an air sign. So it's light, it's buzzing, it's conversations. So this is really encouraging us to step out and have conversations with people that we might have never, you know. So it's just like engaging in this conversation that was just like, oh my God, this complete stranger, and all of a sudden you're, you know, diving deep down this path that's super beneficial, that's just opening up. And the great thing is we have this aspect, not necessarily the sextile is unique today, but the Mars aspect carries over to tomorrow. The Mars Jupiter carries over to Monday. So we have for like the next 2 days this really cool aspect of like, hey, we're getting to like go deeper beyond what is surface, deeper in conversation with other people, and it's still reflecting, you know, as it's a retrograde. Jupiter is retrograde right now. There's still reflection back to self of faith, okay, of having faith in self that I can go have these conversations. You know, that's what the Mars urge. You know, it's like I'm not going to just be stuck here in my house, you know, flipping through the phone or just reading the book by myself. It's actually going out and being active in the community. It's actually going out and you know, it's like striking up these conversations and having these you know, these deep conversations that really gain more. So that's Sunday and into Monday, but we'll talk more about Monday tomorrow. So for now, I hope you had an awesome new moon. I hope you have an amazing Sunday, fun day. We'll see you tomorrow.